Someone sent me a video that made my heart sing. It was a trans man cutting his dad's hair, asking him what he'd noticed about his journey from before transitioning to after. And the dad said something that I think every parent of a trans person needs to hear. This dad talked about watching his child throw a bonkers when they put him in a dress at the age of 2 or 3. He remembered negotiating before a wedding when his child was 6, saying, "You have to look sharp. You don't have to be in a dress." And his son turning up in black trousers, white shirt and a tie, looking like a little exec. And here's the thing, back then they didn't have the language of trans. They knew about gay and lesbian, and they thought at some point their child would probably come out as that. So they kept things open, and they supported him, even though they didn't understand what was fully happening. That's what so many good parents do. They watch, they wonder, they support, even when they don't have all the answers, because we're not given them, we're not taught it, we don't have a book for it. The father described how his son had been somewhere between baseline and depressed for a long, long time. Functional, yes. He had a job and an apartment, he was doing the things you do to have a life, but there wasn't a lot of happiness there. And then came transition, and with it came change. And the dad said, in recent years, I would say more days than not, you're happy, you're comfortable, you're confident. Your confidence has gone through the roof. And the son's response, now I'm like the happiest I've ever been. Can you imagine that? The happiest he's ever been. And that is what transition, living as yourself, can do if you're trans. The clouds lift, the sun comes out, and the constant hum of wrongness that they've carried their whole life finally can go quiet. Do you know what the favourite moment of mine is in this whole conversation? It was when the dad said, I just had to trust your process. Okay, he admitted it was hard because he couldn't give direct answers. He didn't know what to do. He couldn't say, do this or don't do that. His son was way ahead of him on the whole thing, and I've heard this time and time and time again. But parents, that's okay. Do you know what? That is what good parenting looks like. Not necessarily having all the answers, but being willing to learn. Not understanding everything, but trusting your child enough to walk alongside them anyway. And then the son said something that I hear from trans people and their families all the time. He said, it's literally life-changing and life-saving to have support from my family. Life-saving. Think about that. Having parents who say, okay, I don't fully get it, I don't understand, but I love you and I'm here. And that can be the complete difference between making a young person making it through and not, between existing or truly living. And you know, the dad's response was just beautiful. It's a privilege for me and an honour and a delight. I mean, you're the best. If you're a parent watching this and wondering what to do, wondering whether to trust your child, I hope this gives you some comfort. I tell you what I've learnt. The parents who support, who stay, who learn alongside their children, they get to watch something beautiful unfold. And you know, they get to see their child go from struggling to thriving. Who wouldn't want that? They get to hear things like, I'm the happiest I've ever been. What more could any parent ever want? If this resonates with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop me a comment, share my story. Are you a parent on this journey? Are you trans yourself? If you've got a story that you'd like me to share, please send it my way.